What's up guys? Today we're talking about a wireless lav system that only costs $55. Now sometime during this video, whether it be the start, middle, or end, I will be talking about the giveaway I am doing with this wireless lav system. So you might just have to watch the whole video. Sorry, not sorry. So let's get into it. So long story short, I already attempted to make a video for this and I realized I should probably do a lot more testing, and that's what I did. This product was sent to me by the company. So this is a product by a company called FIFINE. They told me it is pronounced FIFINE in an email, but it looks like it's pronounced FIFINE or FIFINE, but they told me FIFINE. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up, see what's inside, do some testing inside, do some testing outside, and then see what the results are like, and then possibly compare it to like a Smart Lob Plus. I already opened this up, so it's not super neat, but the first thing I wanna go over is just this headset that it comes with. The headset is just something you would wear like this. I would imagine this would be for someone who's giving a presentation or needs wireless audio in a theater or whatnot. But in our case, we're not using this. Next, we have our transmitter box. This is where your mic will get plugged into. This is our receiver box. It has a 1/4 inch on top built into the device and then a little antenna on the side. Next, we have two adapters. This is 1/4 inch to 3.5 mil. These go onto the receiver, so you can use them either on your camera or on your phone. If you don't know, some 3.5 millimeter jacks only have 2 stripes, some of them have 3. They're for different uses. In this case, the 3 stripe goes for a phone, the 2 stripe goes to a camera. So you gotta make sure you use the right adapter. Last but not least, we have a lav mic with a pretty decently sized cord, and then also a mini XLR on the end of it that goes into the mini XLR on the transmitter. Now, this may be a benefit or it may be a downside depending on how good the audio quality is. Having a mini XLR will give us better quality, hopefully, but it's also more of a pain because you need adapters to use it on an external recorder or the ones that don't have mini XLR on them. Other than that though, what we're gonna do next is plug it into my camera. We're gonna test it out in this scenario, try a few things out, and then we're gonna do an outdoor test, come back, and we'll go from there. So as I'm setting this up, there is one thing I wanna mention before we get to the testing, that with the transmitter, it does take 2 AA batteries, and for some reason, one of the AA batteries tends to not want to stay in there. As you can see, it just fell out. And every time you put it in, it just comes right back out. So I don't know if this is just for my device specifically or if they're all like this, but it's kind of annoying when your battery can't even stay in your device. But once you finally get the door shut on the front though, it does stay in there and it stays on no problem. And like I said, this takes 2 AA's, and then the receiver takes 2 AAA batteries. Now, I would imagine since both of these are pretty similar in thickness that they would take the same battery, but they don't. I find that kind of frustrating that you'd have to carry around 2 different types of batteries for one system. And then one thing I wanted to mention real quick is the advertised distance these will reach is 40 to 60 feet, which is pretty good for the price range. And it's also pretty easy to set up. There's basically just an on-off button and a set button up top. You set your frequency, you switch the receiver switch on, there's no other buttons on that, and then they automatically connect with each other no matter what frequency you have on the transmitter, and that's kind of it. There's a red light that turns on the receiver when they're both connected and good to go. If you needed a little extra range, there is a little antenna that I showed you that pops out. Maybe that might help you get a better signal. As of right now, I should be talking on this mic, no longer my Rode NTG4 Plus. So hopefully this sounds pretty good. I'm in a pretty echoey room. So, I mean, you be the judge of how it sounds. And we will be going over this after I kind of give it a little bit of a test. But one thing I do want to test is how well it does at low volume and high volume to see if it peaks or see if it can handle it, if it has like a built-in compressor, things like that. So I'm just gonna talk really quiet and see what this sounds like. And then I'm gonna talk really loud and see if it peaks at all. And if it does peak, then we'll see how it does. So one thing I'm gonna do next is do a quick recording on a Rode Smart Lob Plus in the same scenario, just to see if you know, we can compare the two sounds. The Rode SmartLav Plus only costs like $25, and then you need to buy an external recorder and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be adding a second microphone to the test, which is the Deity VLav mic. As of right now, I'm wearing the SmartLav Plus as well as the wireless lav system we are testing, and I'll cut back and forth between them both as I'm talking, and I'll put a little thing down below here so you know which one is playing as it's playing. And so this will kind of give you a feel of what the differences are, because one of them is wireless, one of them is wired into an external recorder. It's a Sony recorder, and we'll see how that sounds. All right, so now we're on mic number 2. This is the Deity VLav. The mic that I'm wearing right now costs almost as much as the whole wireless system, and then, you know, it's also powered, so we can kind of get a feel for that. So I'm also going to do the cut back and forth while I'm talking here, and I'll put that in the same spot as the last one so you know which one is playing, and we can kind of compare them back and forth to see what it sounds like. And one thing I didn't test on the Rode is peaking or being very quiet, so we'll see how it sounds being quiet. Then we can see how it sounds when you're trying to peak it or make it go max volume. But this also does depend on the recorder you use, because some of them have auto leveling, so it's kind of an unfair advantage to do that. So we'll just see what it sounds like. I have to hold it way out here to be able to see me. Yep. It's so heavy. I don't know. I'm hoping it's still working. It's still got to do the indoor test, but maybe it sounds good out here, even with all the wind going on. That'd be nice. Pretty sure the mic quality wasn't bad the first time I tested it. And we'll see if the mic works from a far distance, right, Maya? We can go for a run. Oh, now you can keep walking. Ah! Maya! All right, so we're like what, 50 feet you'd say? Just say like 50-ish feet. And hopefully it still sounds okay. And I'm talking at a pretty loud pace, noise level. And we'll go even farther away. See how that sounds from a further distance with Maya. And this is at a normal talking tone. Seeing how that sounds. And if you talk really loud, see if it peaks, see how it sounds from a decent distance. I'd say right here is a pretty average distance for a testing sound. See how that sounds, see if it's cutting out or cutting in like it was before. Hopefully it sounds good with all the wind going on and the noisy pupper. I will say I don't recommend vlogging in public with this, because let me just show you. Not you, these people. This is a transmitter which kind of just dangles, which isn't the most optimal. I guess if I really wanted to, I could 3D print an attachment to go on it, but that's just kind of a hassle at this point. You might as well just drill into the plastic, see if that works any better. I think we'll do one last test. I'll go like really far away from the camera to see if it works from extremely far, test over the 60-foot limit, and see how that goes. Today we're doing literally the only thing we can do in a quarantine, which Michigan is in, and that is to go for a walk in the park. If you really want to find a way to mount it to your camera, it would be kind of nice to use for vlogging. One thing you could do if you use your phone to vlog is you could Velcro to the back of your phone. I guess that would work. It does come with a phone attachment. But if you have a camera, I'm not really sure where you can maybe Velcro it to your GorillaPod. Not really sure. Nothing but green lights. Come on, Maya. We're really far away right now. Probably like maybe more than 100 feet, I'd say. Let's go even farther and push the limits. We're way out in the open, so there's really nothing obstructing the signal besides like a small hill from getting to me. So I'd be kind of impressed to see if it reaches almost double what's advertised, even with just a small hill in the way. So now that we did all of that, we can get into the computer, check out how it sounds, do a little bit of a review, and talk about the results. All right, so we got all the testing done, and I went and I took a look at everything, and by now you've seen that same footage, but now I've also seen it, so I can tell you a little bit about what I think. Now, one huge thing that really bothers me about this system is that the receiver does not have anything to mount it to, and also does not have any way to put it somewhere. You can't mount it on a tripod, you can't clip it on a hot shoe mount, there's not even a spot to screw anything into it, so you can't really put it anywhere. As for the transmitter, there's a clip on it so you can clip it to like your pants and stuff. As you saw, I mentioned in
The outdoor part, it's not really ideal for vlogging because it kind of just hangs down from your camera, which is fine. Not every single one of these systems is meant for vlogging. And if you do vlog with it, you have to literally hold on to the receiver while you're holding your camera. And as you saw in the very first part, it gets very, very choppy because as you're holding it and walking, that 3.5 millimeter jack that's plugged into your camera twists and then it loses connection. So that's kind of a pretty big downfall in my opinion, because I can't even mount it to something even when it's, you know, plugged into a stationary spot, and it looks really, you know, not very professional when you have it just sitting on top of your camera or hanging from your camera. So if you were to use this for a professional shoot, you know, you'd have to kind of find a way to mount this to something, maybe use Velcro, or you could 3D print something, or, you know, you could find ways around this, no problem. But the fact that, you know, they couldn't even put an insert for a screw hole or something like that, it kind of sucks, but you know, we can get past it for the price range. This isn't a $200 kit, so you can't expect the whole world out of it. But after watching the videos, I'm actually pretty impressed with the sound quality. I was expecting for a $55 kit for the actual lav mic itself to have like really bad quality, but the sound quality was actually pretty good. There was a little bit of noise in there and a little bit of robotic tone to it. But it's nothing that can't be fixed in post, especially if you're on a low budget. I would highly recommend using this over using like your internal mic on your camera or something. There could be improvements on it, but as you saw, there were some issues when you're trying to use it in certain scenarios. Make sure it's not dangling, make sure you're not holding onto it or jumping around with your camera, because it might not work well with the connectivity. But other than that, I did like the sound quality. When I compared it to the other two lavs that I have, I was pretty impressed with how it stood up with those. Obviously, I did like the sound quality of the two lav mics better than this one. Just bear in mind the issues I've mentioned with it. You know, the fact it takes two different types of batteries, there's no mounting point on the receiver. The sound quality of the mic is okay. I definitely approve of the sound quality for the price. Other than that, that's kind of it about this mic. I hope this helped you guys a little bit if you're looking for a budget microphone. I know it's always good to see tests of mics before you buy them. I will be comparing this microphone with a $160 wireless lav kit that I was also given by a company to do some testing with. And then we can kind of compare, is a $55 microphone kit better than a $160 wireless lav kit? So that'd be a pretty cool video. If you guys are interested, feel free to hit that subscribe button below. As I promised, I wanted to mention the giveaway for this microphone. It will be given away after I do another test with the other wireless lav kit. Just a few things with that. You have to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and then put any comment in the comment section below, and I will base the winner off of the comment section. Now, I have to get at least 50 people in the comment sections in order to do this giveaway, because I want to make it more fair. More people is better, give more people a chance to get this. So I will be running this for 2 weeks, and hopefully I'll have that other video done before those 2 weeks. I will also announce the winner in a future video, so make sure you stay subscribed to the channel in order to see if you are the winner. I will also be announcing the winner on my Instagram 3 days earlier than YouTube, so if you want to see it early, go ahead and follow me there. But that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are enjoying these giveaways. And other than that, I'll see you on the next one.